My name is Brian Crystalline Rojas, straight out of Trigger City, Tampa, Florida, hired by Hernan Roldan. And we are so fired up with our Alliance Couture, our Alliance gear.
Our swag.
Our swag, baby. And we are so fired up for this experience. First time trip, 2 years in the business. We missed Hawaii. Hernan called me through FaceTime and he said, you cannot miss Paris, baby. So we started putting in some appointments. We started putting in the activity. We started putting in the work. There were time of doubts. There were time of not knowing if we were gonna make it, but we made it through, baby. And the experience has been far to none. Favorite thing, man, we went out with Tim Goat to the Eiffel Tower, walking, and just seeing the Eiffel Tower lighting up, you know, taking some pictures with my wife was just amazing. We had a chance to eat crepes, crepes with the Goat Ministry.
We even sing crepe.
Crepe. We call them crepes. But just hanging around with people, building relationships, sightseeing, you know, the Eiffel Tower. Who gets to see the Eiffel Tower in person, you know?
The Mona Lisa, even though we were like 200 people behind the Mona Lisa, it was still an awesome experience just to be able to take that selfie, say we were there.
Guys, the experience has been amazing, but the fact that the average person from where I'm from does not get to do this, where nobody just comes to Paris, and if you do, who comes to Paris with 200 of their best friends? And on top of that, who comes to Paris to the Westin, guys, to the Westin? It's unheard of, you know, and we are so blessed, we are so humbled to be a part of a small thread of people that go against the grain, that go against the currents, you know, that want to make a difference, that want to fight a war against poverty and are doing it. And we get to be elevated with these people. So I am just so grateful that we were able to be here with these leaders today.
I know the closest my family has ever gotten to coming to Paris has been Las Vegas, that fake Eiffel Tower. And so I can actually say that I've been here to Europe. None of my immediate family has been to Europe. So this is just amazing. This is a game changer. Because we know for a fact that our family, when we have one, our children are gonna experience this, our children's children. I mean, this is just like, we're breaking generational curses.
Come on, baby.
Everybody can do it. If we can do it, and we are far, 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 far from perfect, anybody can do it. You just gotta have that WANTTO, that want to.
That want to.
And if y'all want to do this, y'all can do it. We believe in you.
Hey y'all, we are Marcus and Carly Richardson, hired by Andy Albright, been around for a while, but this is one of my favorite trips. We are in Paris, getting to experience all the sights, taste all the food, and get to experience the Paris feel. A couple days ago, we went to see the catacombs. That's all the skulls and walking through, seeing all the dead folks. I didn't know what we were getting into. My wife said we're going to see the catacombs. I said, cool, get down there, see some skulls. A little freaky, but I enjoyed it. Everything's been awesome. We also went to the Louvre Museum. The Louvre Museum is one of those things where you gotta go several times to see everything. We didn't even get through a quarter of it, but that was incredible to see everything at the Louvre Museum. The next part of this is getting to Alaska. So getting here was not simple. It's easy, but not simple, meaning we put in the work, made the calls, got hung up on, got told no. It's what we do though. I don't mind getting told no for experiences like this because this is a once in a lifetime experience. It'll change your life, change your world. We want you to come to Alaska with us. 115,000. But if you're a go-getter and an overachiever, we want to see you in Seattle, 200,000. We're looking forward to seeing you guys with us. Come with us, y'all. We're the Alliance family. We'll see you in Alaska.
All right, I've got 12:30 Eastern time. So good afternoon, Alliance Nation. Welcome to the TWC. We do not have an intro today. We are going to get straight to the content. I heard our guest speaker has so much good stuff that we're going to cut out all the fluff in the beginning and get right to it. So y'all help me welcome Paul Rockstar Roberts. Woo!
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you. All right. My name's Paul Roberts, and we're coming to you guys live from three different cities, maybe even four. Jeff might be in a fourth city for all I know, but I know for a fact we're in three different cities.
We're so fired up
excited to spend time with these heroes of mine, talk to them, get them to chat with you for a little bit.
Our swag,
I want to say this. I want to thank everybody at Camp Studios for everything you put together for us. I want to thank everybody in the, I don't know what your department is, but all the ones that put together our reports. We get some insane reports from you guys. I'm always amazed at what we get. And again, everybody at the corporate office, contracting, I don't think we say it enough, y'all. Thank y'all for helping us. We went out with Tim Goat. A lot of times, us guys, gals out here in the field, we're kind of in survival mode. We forget to thank y'all for all the things you do for us. But please know that we're very proud to be on the same team with y'all and excited to share this journey with y'all. And again, thank you for making our job so much easier while we're out here making things work and building dreams, building friendships and relationships. None of it would be possible without all you folks back in the corporate office in Burlington, North Carolina, make our jobs easy. If anybody ever yells at y'all and screams at y'all for not doing what you need to do, tell them I will slap them with George Andershock's fist or hand. That's a big hand. They should be grateful for everything that y'all do for us because y'all got a job to do. We got a job to do. Most importantly, we're on the same team. So thank you very much. All right. I want to talk to you guys today about so many things. My heart is full. Oh my God, my heart is full. I just got back from G5 Elevate at Tim Goat's ranch with Jeff. Kelly were there, as was Dr. Phil. And it definitely opened our hearts up for greater gratitude, again, of what we have at corporate office there in Burlington, greater gratitude of what we have in Andy Albright, greater gratitude in what we have with the whole entire Integrity family. And so we sat down this week, we chatted, and really we weren't talking and strategizing about how to do today's call. We were more just talking about unity. We were talking about friendships, relationships, how important it was for us to continue to build that. But we want to share that with you guys today. And I promise you there will be some great things from this group of folks that they'll share with you that will really literally light your life business on fire. So before I do that, let's go into some numbers. I'm going to read out some folks, the heroes out in the field making this thing happen. I know these managers and this manager right here have a great respect for every name I'm about to read because we've all done it. And that's what I love about this business is everybody has done what you're doing. So there's a certain respect level, crazy respect level that we have for you guys out there in the field making it happen. So let's do the top 3 life producers submit last week. Coming in number 3 is my buddy Jeremy Pat with 21,799. And I just looked at his growth chart, Jeff and Kelly and Phil. He's up like 500%. You know, it's crazy the numbers he's got coming in. So proud of you guys, what you're doing up there. Coming in number 2 is Kyle and Janina Wilson, 23,843 life apps submitted last week. Incredible stuff there. And coming in number 1 is Megan Wood. I've been talking a lot about you, Megan. I've had the honor, privilege to work with Noel Leventovich the last 24 hours here in Florida. We've said some great things about you. Congratulations for being number 1 with $33,045. This is the top 12 life producers issue paid. Number 12 is my buddy Brant Gel Swindell with 8,604. Number 11, I believe that's Lee Reyes with 9,164. Congratulations, Lee. So proud of you. Stephen and Holly Davis coming at number 10, 10,651. Incredible stuff. You can You continue to inspire me there, Stephen. Coming number 9 is Guy with 11 issue paid. These are issue paid numbers, by the way. 11,327. Coming number 8 is Charles with 12,000. I don't know if y'all are recognizing that, but that's 2 people from the awesome and amazing Adam and Beth Katz team. Right in a row, number 8 and 9. So congratulations. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Charles, for supporting our dear friends Adam and Beth. Coming number 7 is Marvin and Rachel Asuna. Got to hang out with him this Saturday. Great man, great leader. 12,443. Number 6 is Jeremico Edwards. I love this man from Michigan. 12,526. It was so great to see you 2 weeks ago. So great to see so many of you. Coming at number 5 with issue paid is Megan Wood, 13,646. And I don't know about you, but that 28 applications jumps out at me. So does Lee's 23 applications as well. Coming at number 4, big time numbers here. Coming in from Sue, 14,400. Good job, Sue. Proud of you. Coming at number 3 is Amy, 15,750 on Linda Global's team. Brand new agency manager, Linda Global. Congratulations, Linda. Coming at number 2 is Jim on Patrick Connor's team with $22,845. And coming in at number 1 is Sam. Sam, when you issue pay $54,000, I should know your last name. I'm sorry, but I'm proud of you. I'm glad to walk with you. I'm glad to be in this journey with you. But coming at number 1 on my man Fitz's team, $54,197. Congratulations to the top 12 issue paid producers. And thank you for raising the bar. And this is how I always talk about leaderboards to our team, to our rock stars, is, hey, they are not a nana boo boo. He did it, you didn't do it. It's he did it so you can do it. We complete each other. We don't compete with each other in the rock stars. And we are grateful to the folks like Sam that goes out and set the bar so high that we then believe we can do it ourselves. Listen, gang, listen. Last year during the virus, I remember Kelly's office, my office, G's office, the office there in Austin. We were all scared. We were all worried. We didn't know what was going on. And we all of a sudden had to do sales over Zoom. And it was scary. But again, we complete each other. We don't compete with each other. And a young lady by the name of Letty, Dallas, Texas, wrote a policy, and she showed all of us that we could do it. So that's what Sam's done with that 54,000. He's showing every single one of you can do it. So let me go back to leaderboards. I'm sorry, T. I didn't mean to mess you up. I started telling a story about it. Please forgive me. I won't do that to you again. I'm going to stick to the leaderboards. Cursing me right now. Coming in number 5, this is annuity producers issue paid. Coming in number 5 is Vernon. 66,000 in annuities last week. Congratulations. Danny comes in at number 4 with 86,950. David comes in with number 3 with 122,867. Marty. Oh, so good seeing you last week, Marty. I hope you're listening, my friend. But Marty comes in at number 2 with 200,000. Hey, great entrance, my friend. Way to come back. And you better not be a one-shot wonder. I will hunt you down and slap you with a T-shot hand. Anyhow, coming in at number 1 is Marty and Deanna Doggett. $250,000 annuity last week. That's pretty impressive. So great annuities from everybody. Congratulations. Top 3 Foresters producers last week. Joseph, that's Joseph too. I know who that is. Out of Frisco, Texas, 5,357. You keep lighting up the leaderboards, my friend. Congratulations. Coming at number 2, my dear friend Terry and Tia Edwards. I love you guys. 5,938. Thank you for your energy that you always bring to the table. Both of you, Terry and Tia. We can't do it without you. Coming at number 1, Stephen and Holly Davies, 8,735. Smoke. That's just Forrester's number, guys. That's just Forrester. That's crazy. Let's do the top 10 recruiters last week. All right, I made the board. I'm happy. Coming at number 10 is Jara. She gets 1 recruit for last week. We're going to talk a lot about that right here in a couple of minutes, Jara. Hang tight. Listen to us. Number 9, Alex Abian. Oh, wait, let's just do this. Alex Abian, Carlos G, and Brandon and Ashley Bill all have 2 contracts last week. Hate to call them contracts. You got 2 friendships. We'll talk about that here in a second, guys. Coming in with 3 for last week is my man, Jeremy Pat, Mike Levenkovic, and Paul Robert. All have 3 last week. Congratulations to my 2 phenomenal people, Tatiana and Tori. God bless you for all the work you're doing. Coming number 3 is Steven. Man, Steven's lighting up every single board. Congratulations. I love you, my brother. Comes in number 3 with 4 contracts last week. And then Olga and Jason also had 4. And then Riddle kind of got away from all of us, sped up just a little bit. He got into the corner a little better than we did, going around corner number 4 at Daytona Speedway. And he got 8 contracts last week. So congratulations to everybody that hit the leaderboard. You guys are the ones. Am I done with leaderboards? That's it, right? Good. Thank you. So you guys and gals are the ones out there giving hope to all of us. That's your purpose for being on the leaderboards. If your purpose is because you're selfish and you just love hearing your name called, that's fine. That's fine, because you're also giving other people hope. I hope one day you realize what you're doing for, and I know God will reveal to you later in life what you're doing it for, but you're giving somebody hope. You're giving somebody that wants to quit hope. You're giving somebody that thinks maybe this isn't for me. You're giving them hope. Because I don't know. I mean, I wish I had time. I could have done a whole call, Kelly, based off of each person on the leaderboards and their backgrounds, no college, black, white, Hispanic, Cuban, Colombian. I mean, all walks of life, right? So all of y'all are giving hope to everybody out there to make a difference in people's lives. So leaderboards are fun. And I hope one day your purpose is greater than that. Just want to give people hope. Continue to strive for the leaderboards. Continue to strive for the leaderboards, because you are giving people hope. From Megan Wood, who was a waitress or a bartender or whatever at both, I think, at Applebee's, to a professional sports athlete, Brandon. It's just seriously all walks of life. All of you are important. We need each of you. We need each other to continue to move this amazing organization to heights that we can't even dream possible. Like there are things laid out before us already that we don't even understand how big and how great they are. But what we got to do is stay the course. What we got to do is continue to believe that what we do every single day is for a purpose much greater than ourselves. Yes, it's survival at times. Yes, it's paying the bills. I get it. But also know you're doing something greater. Because there's some people, and I'm not going to mention their names, there's some people that I'm here today because of their assertiveness, because of their ability to lead, because of their ability to fight and put numbers up every week, whether it was a leader, whether it was an agency manager, whether it was a personal producer. I remember them all. And each day, it kept me staying another day. Each day, I stayed another day because someone else gave me hope. Someone else gave me promise. And it was for those folks that were on the leaderboards taking things over. And one day that will be revealed to you. That will be revealed what you did, because that left a ripple effect for me to stay here, get sober, change the entire trajectory of my life in a way that I never thought possible, and then change other people's lives. I'm working with several people right now, 4 to be exact, that are either going through detox, going through horrible things like that, or just need help on a daily basis because they're very, very early into their recovery. So that left a ripple effect. So the ripple effect that you're going to leave by just being on the leaderboards can lead to massive. That's what I'm saying. We don't realize it will not be revealed to us till later, but I promise you it'll be revealed to us of what we're going to accomplish and what we're going to do as a team. So there's days where we get selfish, and that's okay. But the problem of being selfish, you ready? It's a double-edged sword. The problem of being selfish, I want to see my name on the leaderboard every week. The problem of being selfish is when you're down and out, you're selfish and you quit because you don't think it's about anything but you. So you quit. I'm embarrassed. You used to be on the leaderboards. I'm not anymore. I'm embarrassed. See, that selfish mentality will get you to quit. Whereas if you say, hey, I got a duty here. I got an obligation to the people around me to be successful.
But we like to say it in our San Antonio meeting and Laredo meeting and the Talon meeting. Listen, if Karen brings three brand new guests to the meeting and you bring 0, you didn't help Karen. You hurt Karen. Now, we don't do it in a mean way like, hey, go sit in the corner. You're in timeout for the rest of the month. We don't want to see you or speak to you. But what we do is we try to get everybody to have this internal thing inside of them. Hey, I don't want to let Kelly down. I got to bring people to the meeting because I know Kelly's going to show up and give it her all. If you're in Dallas, you want to get people to show up to the meeting because you know Brittany Flores is going to give it her all and write a bunch of business and inspire people, right? So you don't want to let her down. And that's how this thing works. That's how we make this thing grow. That's how we compete with each other, but at the same complete each other, but at the same time we get to compete with each other. Okay, there's a mutual respect. I love NASCAR. The respect for NASCAR drivers that they have for one another is out of this world. There's a few that hate each other, and that's fine. But for the majority of them, they have to see each other every Sunday and race together. One of the fewest sports that's that way. One of the fewest sports is that way every Sunday or Saturday, sometimes every Saturday. So they have to have a respect for each other. They have to give each other space from time to time. And they know that. And they respect one another. But at the same time, they compete with one another. You with me? I respect the leaders around me. I'm going to compete, but I respect them. And I respect them so much that I want to bring numbers to the table. That's what I love about these guests that I have on today. Because we want to talk to y'all today about building a legacy for sure, finding people in depth for sure. Let's just break this down. I met a dude by the name of George. Last name was Washington. Very weird. George Washington, San Antonio, Texas. And he gave me hope. I did not know at that time he was going to lead me to Kelly. He never wrote a piece of business. He called me at all hours of the night. He was kind of a bit high maintenance, let's just put it that way. But I was not rude to him. Thank you, God, for keeping me patient, not being ugly to this man. Well, I see a lot of leaders, Jeff, they want to throw that guy away immediately. He ain't doing nothing for me. He ain't getting me no commissions. He ain't getting me no override. And they throw away the gift that's going to lead ultimately to you, Jeff. It led to Kelly. And of course, Kelly said, hey, here's Jeff. And so I'm going to ask you, now don't be, you got to have some discernment in this talk that we're about to give y'all. Notice I didn't say I went and spent the night at George's house, hung out with him for 3 weeks and prayed with him every day. Okay. Notice I didn't say that, I told George I was going to name my next dog after him, I was just friendly. I was just patient. He needed a friend. Truthfully, he just needed a friend. And we still chat from time to time. It just wasn't for him. I can tell you why it wasn't for him, but it wouldn't make no sense. But it just wasn't. That's okay. But I thank God. I think the leaders in my life. I thank Tim Goad. I thank Andy. I thank Fitz. I thank Davies. I thank Katz. I thank Levin Tovich. I thank all these people for teaching me to be patient and not blow that man out of the water. That would have led me to something beautiful like Kelly. So we're going to talk about how you do that. And here's the deal. You can't just stop everything and become friends with George. You still got to go write business. Okay? You still got to go be the example on your team. You can't just become this, well, I'm gonna make friends with everybody. I'm gonna go to breakfast with all of them. That's not what we're saying. Sometimes people, and I know Jeff and Phil and Kelly caught this when Tim said it. Sometimes people just need a text that I believe in you. I'm thinking about you. That's influence. And I'm like going, all right. Yes. Hey, man, just thinking about you. Some people just need to hear that hope. So let's start with Jeff. You were fired up this week. We were talking about building friendships, relationships, and calling lists of names. And I know you're calling lists of names. And where did I go? Oh, I'm still there. There's 2 Paul Roberts. That messed me up hardcore. That messed me up hardcore. I think, where'd I go? I see a picture of myself, but I see my face. But Jeff, we had a blast this week and talking about building depth, calling lists of names, and talking to people, building that unity. What do you want to share with this group and the success that you and Kelly have had, the success that you've seen Phil have, or myself?
Well, first, Paul, I'd love to thank you for the opportunity to jump on the TWC with you. This past weekend was, very, very impactful for us. And really the biggest thing that I took out of everything that we did was relationships, right? And when we talk and when Tim talks about relationships, it's like you said, it's not just sitting around the kitchen table. It's not going out to the movies, hanging out with that person all day, but it's really getting to know them. It's finding what drives them. It's finding what motivates them and how we can help them. And sometimes, Paul, I feel like I'm almost selfish if I don't recruit or if I don't call a list of names, because I'm not sharing this incredible opportunity with people. I'm just keeping it to myself. And if I keep it to myself, then I don't have the impact that I could have on others. And we had an incredible call where yesterday we got on the leaders that Kelly and I chose, Phil chose, you chose, and it's an incredible group of people. And it was just so cool because I look back at when I started and I look at the fact that I was there. And I think one of the most exciting things for me, Paul, was when you get that first override check. Yeah. And you're like, I mean, it was like $3. I was fired up out of my mind. I'm like, I didn't even work for this. I got $3, and now it's just, it compounds and compounds and compounds, but it's not the override. This is how many times I've been able to help somebody else improve their life, help them move forward. And in turn, they've impacted a client's life. They've done something meaningful to them. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to work with you, work with Andy, and all of the leaders in this organization. But I could not ask for a better team to be on.
That could sum up the whole call right there. We can hang up. The meaningfulness of hiring somebody, you impact the family that bought the life insurance, you impact the person that sold the life insurance. And what he said was, and this is why Jeff is winning, this is why he attracted great people on his team, is he was grateful for a $3 override. I mean, how many of us have hired a person that was so arrogant, so ugly in their thinking, that would say something like this: well, Jeff might be fired up for a $3 override, but I have bigger dreams. No, you don't care about people, my friends, and you'll never make as much money as Jeff. I'm sorry. Now, I don't say that to people because love conquers all, but I want to say it. I'm saying it to y'all because if you are saying it, please stop. Be grateful for every override. Be grateful for every penny. And then be grateful, like Jeff said, for the people that God gave you and blessed you with in your organization, that then you can multiply and touch clients. Like Jeff has hired people, and today people are touching those clients. Jeff ain't ever met them. And there might be someone along the way that Jeff will never meet, never know about. But someone's going to get a death claim, and a child's not going to be going from homeless shelter to homeless shelter or be in foster care and all of a sudden just be dealt a different chain of events in his or her life. And Jeff won't be revealed for that. That won't be revealed to Jeff until his day. God will say, thank you. This is big, gang. This is bigger than us. I appreciate that, Jeff. I appreciate you saying the ripple effect of how you can help people and impact them. And you're definitely doing that. And here, here's another thing too. When Jeff brings, Jimmy into the business, there might be someone in Mike Leventovich's organization that person blesses. And they'll say, if Jimmy can do it, I can do it. And then this person's chain of events in their lives begins to change. And let's say they, change the course, the history of their family from being broke all the time and now they're rich. See, Jeff had an impact on that. That's why Jeff's grateful for a $3 override. And blessings and riches will come his way because he's grateful for that $3 override. He's grateful for it. And this is why this ripple effect that we talk about, and we talk about it in the Rockstar organization all the time. This is why when I say on stage, we're going to end racism, and other people laugh like, yeah, that's cute. Yeah. Okay. See, we understand the ripple effect, bro. We understand the ripple effect of our heart being transferred and transferred and transferred from generation to generation to generation. And if we could all think this way, we can take this company, I hate to even call it a company, we can take this family to levels we never thought possible. So thank you, Jeff. Phil, you depth building machine, Phil Bear, the doctor. Homeboy knows how to build some depth. I think he's lied to us. When he first came on, I said, man, you were at Amway or something, the way you were able to build these relationships. And he said, no. I was like, you're lying to us something. Check this out. And then I'm going to turn it over to you, Phil. Sorry. This is about you.
Go ahead.
Phil had an agent. And by the way, I didn't know about this. No one, he didn't tell me. He didn't call me and tell me what a great servant leader he is. I found out about it a couple years later by Abel Luna. He met with an agent in McAllen, and this agent that was training said, I don't know how to dream. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. Please listen to what I'm about to tell y'all. This is big. This could lead to a massive organization. Just to have his heart. But the young lady said, I don't know how to dream. My family's broke. I've only known broke. That's for other people. That type of talk. Phil took time out of his day, unbeknownst to anybody, didn't tell me, didn't post it on social media that I'm changing the world. And took this first he asked the young lady, what's your favorite car? And she said Cadillac. So they found a Cadillac dealership. They went to a Cadillac dealership, touched the car, set the car, smelt the car, got her to dream. That's what we're talking about. Gives me chills when I just got chills, and it's hot outside right now, and I'm drinking coffee, and I got chills. Gave me chills, because that's what it's about. He took the time. And again, he didn't post it on social media. I'm a servant leader. He didn't even tell me. He didn't even say, yo, bro, man, I want to brag on myself for a second. I found out years later from someone in his organization, and it made me cry because I didn't know that ever happened. That's the message. That's what Jeff said about being grateful with $3. That's what he's doing. So Phil, sorry, I had to properly introduce you because no one knows that about you. You don't like bragging about yourself. I got to meet Phil's mother. Actually, me and Kelly and Jeff got to meet Phil's mother, and she says that boy will not brag on himself. He never tells me what he's doing, and he'll never brag on himself. And I think that's why we love him so much. But go ahead, my man.
Well, thanks, Paul. See, what I know about this family, the Alliance family, is it will change people's lives. When like you reading off the activity numbers, you starting off the activity call. When I came into this business 5 years ago, the TWC, the activity call, that was giving me hope to carry forward. If y'all are thinking you're going through this by yourself, you're crazy. You're going through this with a team across the country. So I came into this business, and because what I did prior to the Alliance led me to being financially broke, not paying my car, they didn't know if I was going to pay rent the next month, right? I would get on these calls. I would get on the TWC. I'd get on the activity call because I needed the inspiration. I needed to hear Andy's words of encouragement. I needed to hear the motivation to keep going forward. And as Paul was reading those names earlier, I was just thinking back. I said, man, we're a team. We're a family. You're doing more than just going out there and writing business. You're going out there and you're inspiring somebody because you're winning, right? You're inspiring somebody like me 5 years ago that needed that to say, hey, if you can do it, I can go do it, right? I have brand new people on the call today. And what they're seeing from those numbers, because you're going out there and winning, is the inspiration to keep going forward. And by you doing that, and by you continuing to do that, that's going to reward you in the future. So first of all, thank you to the Alliance family. I want to say again, thank you to the corporate team, Robbie Kraft, Chris Hill, Clay Murtis, Ashlyn Davis, all the LPT team. Here's one team that don't get recognition a lot. When you send an email to the commissions team, Cadence, I think is her name, and everything else, contracting, and you guys, y'all are what makes our business simple to go do. I don't know if you've seen the updates to the website, but I can go and click on something and just go run my business efficiently. So please utilize that. If you're not utilizing it, go talk to your growing up line and ask them, how does this work? Because you can go build a massive business. You can go like freedom is what this business is to me. You can go get free from whatever you want to get free just by using, I don't like to say that word, but by using the Alliance system, right? You go find people, you introduce them to the Alliance, you show them where the resources are, and then they're off and running. And then you go find somebody else, and you go find somebody else, right? And take yourself out of the equation, right? My job is not to be the almighty on my team. My job is to, hey, I know you're going through problems. I don't know what it is right now. You don't have to tell me. I just met you yesterday. We'll get to that. But we're going to do this together. We're going to do the work together. Come up to the office. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. Let me introduce you to some teammates. Watch them do the work. And then leverage this system to solve whatever problem you're going through. Whether it's part-time money, full-time money, whether it's changing your life, whether it's building a big business and changing somebody else's life, right? But I always think I pull myself out of the equation, and how can I set somebody else up for success, right? Paul Roberts, you're the ultimate. You and Andy are the ultimate to doing that. I always say when I'm recruiting and I'm talking to somebody, I say, hey, I want you to come up here and meet Paul Roberts. He runs this as a family business. His daughter works with him. His wife is heavily involved in the business. Guy makes $95,000 a month. All right. When it's that big, you say it with an F, 95,000 a month in this business. But I'm not saying that to brag on him. I'm saying that because that shows how big his heart is. That shows, like what Jeff said earlier, how many people he's helped over his career. Right? That 95,000 a month is a reflection of how many people he's helped over his career. And he's looking for more people. He's looking for more leaders to step up so he can help grow. And that's what this business is to me. So it's my duty, it's my obligation to keep carrying that forward, to keep going out there, selling, recruiting, and building, and moving this legacy forward. Paul, I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. I hope that was a little in the right direction.
You're beautiful, dude. Yeah, and it's and Dr. Phil, great story how we got to Dr. Phil. There's someone here, someone here, someone here, and you know, it ultimately led me to a beautiful relationship with that man right there, and the ripple effect that he's having. I love the fact that he is in my office. His heart, his generosity is there. His leadership is there for incredible people like Tatiana, who's one of our folks in our office, and can't wait for y'all to hear Tatiana's story from stage one day. It'll bring tears to your eyes what that young woman's been through, how she fights and still smiles. The fact that he's there to have a massive, massive impact on my daughter's life. That's probably the most important to me right there is the impact that he gets to have on her future and the way she thinks about things, sees things. It's a family deal. And, Bill doesn't realize that he might, but he's touching my family forever with his leadership, his generosity, what he does just for my daughter, Tori. And that's a present that I could never repay to help that young woman achieve great success. And you'll hear Tori's story from stage one day, and that'll get you. And it wasn't just me. That's the deal here is, all of the great leaders here know It ain't them. They were great leaders because they surrounded themselves with great people. In fact, some of us are very average leaders that just surrounded themselves with great people and appear to be great. And so, again, it's that ripple effect. Go out and build the friendships. And I'll come back to you in a second, Phil. I want to talk to you and Jeff. In fact, Jeff, you just sent me that text, man. Kind of relay that to Phil. I don't think Phil's ever known that.
So Kelly actually told me that story about what you did dream building with that new agent. And it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, because I think when I started, and I've heard other people say this, they say, how do I build a relationship? Like, we have friends, we have acquaintances, right? But how do you really build a relationship? And it's exactly what Phil did right there. He took time to help her dream again. He took time that he didn't have to go over, have her look at her dream, have her touch it, have her feel it, have her realize that it's within arm's reach and that she can do it. And that is why Phil's team is blowing up. And that is incredible. But Paul, if I didn't plug in, I never would have known that. I would never be able to use that in the future. And that's why this is so important for me to listen to these stories and listen to other incredible leaders such as y'all, because I can take something and I can add it and I can use it and I can grow. And that's huge when it comes to my team.
Amen. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Kelly. I think about everything Kelly and I've been through, and one thing that stands out the most is every Monday we would go eat sushi at Kona Grill. That was the place that was right down the road from her office. We would just sit there and we would dream. We would dream about what was going to come up next, who was going to be on her team, what friendship she was going to develop over the years, how she was going to be a very successful young woman in the Alliance. She was single at the time. She really wanted to make a great impression. She'd worked in some tough industries, very tough industries, but she had to be extremely tough. And she was so relieved to come over here and realize, wait a minute, I get to just build friendships. I don't got to punch people. To her other business, to get to where she got to, she was crazy, stupid, successful in those other industries. She had to punch people, not literally, but probably did sometimes. Maybe she'll tell us something. But over here, she was able just to kind of take a deep breath and say, so we're just building friendships. Yeah, we're just building friendships. Kind of like you and I were here at Kona Grill. And I know so many other leaders have eaten at that same place. Adam Katz has gone to Kona Grill with you. Ed's gone to Kona Grill with you. I know so many other great leaders have gone to Kona Grill with you. And it's just like, hey, I know it's silly. It's just a grill and it's a place where you sushi. But these are memories. And again, these are also things that God will reveal to us later in life of what we were able to accomplish by building these relationships and friendships and taking Caleb and Kaylee, to Kona Grill and finding out that Caleb will not eat sushi. And he orders a sandwich at a sushi place. Very weird. But we let him, but it's still strange. And those are just fun things that we get to live with. And heck, the impact, Kelly, I'm not going to say much more than this, but the impact you've had on that young couple that started here when they were 18, the impact you've had on them since 18 years old. And so take it away, Kelly. Talk about your building friendships, relationships, and everything going on in your beautiful organization.
Thank you so much, Paul, for that introduction. I think we can stop the call right now. First off, I want to thank Robbie. I want to thank Caitlin. I want to thank everybody again at corporate. Robbie, the stuff you have come out with in art, the beep. It is amazing. Like Bill was saying, I can click on a button and see my whole agency, see the money, see what everybody's doing, see if somebody's hurting, see if somebody's falling off. And what you guys have done is just amazing. And I know Robbie has a lot more coming. So first off, Robbie, thank you. I know you're putting in a ton of hours to that. Caitlin and commissions. Yes, Bill, they are so under, Caitlin and Cadence are so under edified. So grateful for them. I can pick up the phone and call Caitlin, email, we get quick responses. Contracting, Ashland and Leeds, Clay and LPT are in President's Club now. Everybody at corporate office, Mac, Hefner, the behind the scenes people, and Tia, holy cow, you run this call every single week. We just realized yesterday exactly what you had to go through. We love you so much because we had no idea what you had to go through. So thank you from the bottom of our heart for everything you do for Andy, for everything you do for this team. we're just extremely, extremely grateful. And to now know, Paul, that you've given us not only corporate office, but now we have integrity as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for you setting the example and proving to Phil, myself, and Jeff that we can become partner. Thank you for diving in, never quitting. When it was the hardest it could have been for y'all, you guys have gone through so much, and to not quit, to know that there was light at that end of that tunnel, know that you knew there was bigger purpose in life, and to be able to affect what you're affecting now. I know I speak for three of us that we hope to only be able to fill those shoes a little bit, because those are really big shoes to fill. And we're super, super excited to cut this journey with you, and to go to that next level. So thank you for that. This weekend at Elevate, there were so many things that were talked about with relationship. There were so many things that were talked about. But one of the things that stuck with me with Gay was the different shoes that you wear. And I think in recruiting, we need to understand that when we're trying to build a team, we're trying to build those relationships, those different shoes are huge. Whether it's the love shoe, where you need to just put on the shoe to listen, the listening shoe, the walk in their step. There's so many different things. And I think what we forget is that we're here and they're starting down here, and we have to remember what that felt like. And I try to make myself remember, I came here for freedom. Okay. I came here because I was working in a car dealership, in the service department. I was working 80 hours a week, and I figured out that I was making $1.56 an hour. There's somebody right now that's listening to this call, and I need you to hear me when I say you can have your financial freedom. You just have to let us help you get there. Paul did that for me. I went to Paul every day, and I'd be like, okay, I'm like, guys, Paul never had to ask, put it that way, what I was doing. I would text him, hey, I'm in my car at lunch break dialing. This was my dials. I would go in an appointment. I would come out of the appointment. I would text him, whether it was a no sale, a sit, whatever it was. He always knew I was working. There was never a question in his mind. He never had to text me and say, hey, how was your dial session? Hey, how are you doing? Like, he knew what was happening. And I knew in order for me to get out of where I was, I had to do that. And I remember going to him and saying, I can't. Like $1.75 an hour, 80-hour work week. It was just crazy. And I said, I've got to change. And he said, hey, how many hours do you have in vacation? And I said, I think I have a week. And he goes, well, take that week, see what you do. And that week I went out. I was scared to death because I really wasn't a runner. I loved recruiting, but I really was scared to death of the insurance side. I just didn't think I was a good salesperson. Don't ask me why, because I sold bikes. I sold people what they needed fixed on their car, but the life insurance thing scared me. I don't know why. And so I went out and I sold enough where it was 3 weeks worth of pay in 2 days. And I went, yeah, I can do that. So I went in, gave my notice. Anybody that knows in the car dealership, there's the door. So I think I called Paul and I was like, well, that wasn't a 2-week notice. He goes, well, get to work. And from there, it's just exploded. The confidence level was I great in the home? No. I think I went 40-0 one time. It happened. I went 40 appointments, 0 sales, and I think I called Paul screaming, crying, and about to jump off of a roof. But he talked me down and he said, yeah, but you got this person on your team, and this person on your team, and this person on your team, and this person in class, and this person just passed their test. And that's what walked me off the edge. Well, understanding that this relationship of building a team and understanding that that team is what's going to get you through your bad days. So we always said, if I wanted to quit that day, but Paul didn't quit, we were good. As long as we didn't try to quit on the same day on each other, we were good, right? Same thing goes with this business. You've got to, like we talked about, sending a text out. You haven't talked to this person. You don't know what they're going through. Tyler Bott on our team is an amazing example. You know, he started with us. He was still at Cormark where Jeff recruited him. And then he got an amazing opportunity to go to Dallas with a huge promotion. We didn't say anything. I didn't say, you don't need that promotion. I was like, dude, go to Dallas, experience life, do that. When you're wanting to write insurance, we're still here. And he would write policies here and there, but I was always texting, hey, how are you doing? How's Dallas? How are you liking the lake? It wasn't, hey, how are you? Do you have any insurance people I can sell insurance to? It was life. It was how they were doing. It was making sure that they knew that we were still there. And then one day he called me and he goes, well, you'll never guess what I did today. And I go, what was that? He goes, and I knew, but I'm going to let him have his glory. And he goes, I quit. I said, all right, that's awesome. He goes, so what do I do next? I'm like, oh, you want to come back? And he goes, can I? Of course, you've never left. And it's just the relationship, right? The relationship that he knew that we weren't mad at him for taking a job. We weren't mad at him for going out and doing what he needed to find in himself to figure out that this was over. Caleb was the same way. I think it took him a year to actually do anything. A lot of the people on my team, it's funny, all of them were warm market except Alan Perkins. He was really the only one that I've hired that was through Indeed or Zip. He'll for sure remember. But Big Al is amazing now. He started and he was slow. He was a teacher. He was doing his thing. His schedule with he has 3 kids. He's a single dad. There's a lot going on. Now, guys, he just had a check deposited this morning for $2,800 for his first annuity written, and that is more than he made in 3 weeks or 4 weeks probably as a school teacher. And he just wrote an IUL for $9,800. So, dude, like 2 years of my relationship with him, if I would have cared about what he was making me, holy cow, I would lose the blessing of having Big Al on our team. If I cared about money, I would lose the blessing of having Caleb and Kaylee in my life. Watching Caleb go from 18 years old, marrying the love of his life, and getting ready to buy his first home and have their children and being able to have that influence in their family. Something that Gay said about legacy was, you lead to choose the attitude you get to lead you, right? So you're leaving that legacy, but then a solid legacy plants the seed from which consistency and expectations will grow. What was crazy to me, Paul, is when they were talking about planting the seeds. I don't know if y'all remember, Phil, you were there, but Jeff wasn't. When we were in Florida, in Tampa for family reunion last year, do you guys remember the talk that Brian Adams did about planting seeds and how we harvest and that whole thing?
Yep.
It was exactly the same thing that Tim and Gay were talking about. And I was like, this is amazing. We are at the right place at the right time with amazing people that didn't even realize that this one and this one were talking the same legacy. And to know that Andy Albright has brought those people into our lives and put the same thing in our lives at different time was amazing to me, Paul. Just absolutely amazing. And again, I don't know if that's what you wanted me to say.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, Caleb and Kaylee, it's fun to watch them. And, you were there for Caleb when he went through an ugly breakup, You were his friend. You were his buddy. I watched you be the buddy to Alan Perkins when he was going through something ugly in his life, and to not give up on him and be so patient. Kelly did say something I think most people missed. This is why she's so good in the home. This is why she recruits. Is she knew what Tyler was going to say to her, but she actually said the words, I wasn't going to steal his thunder. I was going to let him tell me. There's a reason why your team's not growing and you can't sell in the home like she could sell, because you'd have stolen that thunder from him. You quit your job, I know. When people come to you excited, have enough discernment to know they don't really want you to guess. Right? Have some discernment, have some people skills. Pay attention to the way Andy talks to people at the beginning of hotspot meetings. Pay attention to the patience that he has when someone's talking. He knows the answer to it, but he just shuts up. She said something very big there. She goes, I didn't steal his thunder. And that's how you grow. That's how you become so attractive. That's how people want to be around you. It's not all about you. It becomes about them having discernment and understanding that the young man didn't want her to guess. He was excited to tell her his news, but that's just how he delivered the information. Guess what? Thank God she didn't steal his thunder and let him speak that. And that's what your clients want. When you're sitting with your clients, they're doing the same thing, but you jump in and let them know that you know that. Yeah, I know that. Well, great. You just killed that relationship. It's all relationship building. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's it becomes so much fun when we turn this into a friendship deal. But the thing that scares me, I'm real scared that I'm telling so many people this, is because some of you will turn it into 100% friendship and not do anything. Okay? That scares me. And so I got to be careful. And I don't, Andy will never have me on a call again. So you screwed everybody up. They're all out there sitting in a circle, holding hands and singing songs. Ain't working. That's not what it's about. All these heroes that you see on your screen right here, Jeff and Kelly and Phil, they work. They write business. They do it all. It's not a this or that. It's an all thing. I mean, in NASCAR, it's insane what goes on in that cockpit. You have one guy talking to you that is your crew chief, and you're relaying the information to him or her about what's going on with your car, how it's turning, what's the water temperature. Then you have another person in your ear that's a spotter that's sitting way up above, that's watching where other cars are around you to make sure you don't hit them and letting you know, clear, 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 or speed up. You're clear. Don't worry. Go right, go left, whatever. And at 185 miles an hour on most courses, 185 miles an hour, two people talking to you. So which one does he do? I'm just going to listen to the crew chief. He going to wreck. I'm just going to listen to the spotter. Well, he's not going to be able to relay the information to tell his crew chief what's going on with his car. His car's going to blow up. All at 185 miles an hour. I mean, as I get older, I turn down the radio just to figure out where I'm at when I'm driving the car. I don't know why that distracts me, but I turn that sucker down. These guys are in here, 182, 43 cars beside you. 43 cars beside you. First to last place could be a second and a half apart with 43 cars on the track. My point to this is you got to do it all. You got to make the friendships. You got to build the relationships, but you can't stop there and just listen to the crew chief. You also got to listen to the spotter. You got to go out and write business. And like I said, with the leaderboards at the very beginning, you inspire people through that. You give them hope. You have influence in their lives, right? And you got to continue to build. It just doesn't stop there. It's just, and that's what's fun. Don't say things like you're exhausted. That's the fun part. That's the fun part about this business is, yeah, you're pulled in so many different directions. What the hell else? What else you gonna do? Sit and play Nintendo all day? That's just gratifying. That's just woo. It is more fun to have all this crazy chaos going on in your life because it builds so much stability inside of you. It grounds you as a human being. The more time you have on your hands, the worse you are. There's something in the Bible about that. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe one of y'all know and you can tell me, but it's something that if idle hands get you in trouble and cause you to drink too much, something like that. When you're going all out, man, you're alive. You feel good. I was talking to Andy. I said, let me tell you why people follow you and love you, bro. Your passion to live. Your passion to live every minute and keep going. I remember when he took me and Noel were talking about this the other day when he took us to Italy. We were the only ones he took. And so we had more time to spend with him. And I think it was on Valentine's or something like that. I forget what it was. And he hung out with us all day. And I thought, sure, he's ready to go spend some time away from us. He goes, hey, man, tonight we're going to go over here. I'm thinking, it's 9 p.m., bro. But he wants to see more, his zest for life. Right now he's in Alaska with his son. How cool is that? How phenomenal is that? It's inspired me. Because I was saying to myself, Kelly, you know what I need to do? I need to take Corey and Randy on a trip, just the three of us, without camera. Go do something. Just go get away. Be dad for a while, Be buddies with my girls for a while. It's inspiring. You don't get the opportunities to make those decisions by just listening to the crew chief and not listening to your spotter and not paying attention to the other 43 cars on the roadway. You don't get that. You don't win championships that way. You win championships by doing all of it. So I'm begging of you, don't just take the the feel good of what they told you of building relationship, and don't parlay that into writing business. Don't parlay that into building an incredible culture in your team. Build your culture in your team. Build your culture in your team. Your culture will be a little different than mine. Kelly's is a little different than mine. Bill's is a little different than mine. Build your culture in your team. You're the leader of the team, right? Now, it needs to be based off some things. It needs to be based off love and respect. It needs to be based off of core values. I don't know how you humanly get away from any of those. Base it off that. So do it all. And you'll find it's much easier than trying to recruit somebody and beg them to run business. Beg them to write an application. Albeit every one of these guys on here and gals, they get people to write applications. A lot of applications. Tons of applications. But that's not the main objective. They're not going in for that first. They're going in for the relationship first, the friendship first. We just have a saying around here. I need to remind Andy of it. Build a friendship, build a DM ship, something like that. Let me bring that back. Build a friendship, build a DM ship. Build a friendship, build a DM ship. Build them friendships, man. But again, I'm scared. Some of you I'm talking to are going to go out and find a bunch of friends. And you're going to create a Facebook group, and y'all are going to complain about the traffic, the weather, and politics. That's not what I'm saying. You're building friendships with you as the leader to be inspirational in their lives. To let them know we don't talk politics. To let them know we don't complain about the weather. To let them know we don't complain about the traffic. To let them know we don't complain about our equity. Dear Lord. People write the stupidest things on Facebook. Today, a weight has been lifted off me because my divorce papers are on. You married the person. Divorce them, shut up, don't tell nobody. You sat in front of God and other people and married the person. You were part of the situation that said, I do. I've been through weddings. You had a chance to get out of there. That was your screw up. Don't announce it to the whole world that you screwed up again, right? Just take the divorce and move on. So we don't do stuff like that. We don't talk about stuff like that. That's just bitterness and ugliness and hatefulness. A weight's been lifted off me. No, you're still holding on to resentment. You're still holding on to bitterness. You're still holding on to ugliness, and it's all inside of you. Let go of it. Instead of posting something like that, say to yourself or text your ex and say, hey, we gave it a good run. Sorry I wasn't able to help it work. I bless you. I hope you have the most amazing life in the world. What if they beat me? Let go of it. Let go. Go through your therapy immediately. Let go of it. What are you going to do? Be angry. It ain't going to hurt them. It's only going to hurt you. And then what happens, you can't build like these folks are building because you have this angerness and bitterness and ugliness inside of you. And you wonder why people aren't attracted. You wonder why people won't join your team. You wonder why people won't join your group because that bitterness and ugliness comes out of you. It comes out of you in horrible ways, ugly ways. You want beauty to rest inside of you. You want peace to rest inside of you. And people are attracted to you when you build crazy friendship, crazy relationships. Okay. I got off on a tangent there. Sorry. Please forgive me. I'm saying all that because I get worried when people hear me talk. You know, Andy will say to me sometimes, realize some of these guys are just going to sit around and hold hands. I said, I'm going to keep explaining to them until they quit doing that, until they do it all. You got to listen to crew chief, you got to listen to the spotter, and you got to pay attention to the 43 cars on the road. Okay. I don't have any sports analogies besides that and boxing. Be like asking Mike Tyson. So do you like offense or defense better? He would laugh he might punch you. Because let me show you some offense, moron. Because he's got to do both. I'm a great defender. Never knock nobody out. Vander Holyfield. Never knock nobody out. I'm a great. Okay, stop. So when you decide, hey, I'm going to build these friendships like Jeff talked about, like Bill talked about, Kelly talked about. Jeff and Kelly and Phil, feel free to chime in. Y'all answer it when whoever wants to answer it. But isn't it just so enjoyable that when you get a huge letdown or someone lets you down, gives up on you, quits on you, whatever it is, but you have these relationships and friendships over here? Doesn't it make those letdowns of life so much greater? Built this over here. Kind of explain to me how that all works.
Woo! Yeah, that's a big one. You're going to get let down in this business. It's going to happen. But what I've seen is I've seen Andy and you have it happen, and you don't even know it happened. You find out months later that it happened to you. A year later, you see something, it posts on Facebook, you're like, what happened? And I've watched you guys just stay steady. And I've watched Phil stay steady. And I've watched Jeff stay steady, and so many other leaders in this business stay steady. You have no idea that they had this huge issue happen. And I've learned that. And Jeff and I have gone through a lot of stuff in this past COVID year, and it's been crazy, but we stayed steady. And we stayed close to the team that was tight with us, that had our back. And I think that relationship that you build, you also have each other's back. And you see that in Louisville, you see that in Austin, you see that in McAllen, you see that in San Antonio. And it doesn't matter whose team. A lot of us have multiple cross lines in our group at our hotspot and in our sales meetings. But we all have each other's back to control that negativity. And if somebody's coming in from the outside trying to bring that in, it gets cut off, it gets stopped. And I think I love that about this team that we've created, and the Love Conquers All, is we have each other's back no matter what. We may not like what somebody did or they agree with something, but we're still going to have their back. And to see y'all's example of staying steady helped Jeff and I get through a lot this past year, and know that it's going to be okay, because those relationships we have with other people, it's all right, let it go. Like you said, don't linger on that divorce. Don't, because it feels like a divorce. It seriously feels like a breakup, a divorce. You're like, what did I do? But learn from it. Hey, okay, I see these big red flags that I let die and didn't pay attention to them. Pay attention to them next time, and just be prepared. And I've watched you and Andy do that so many times, and I'm just so grateful that y'all set that example again to prove to us that it would be okay. And I didn't have to have this massive meltdown because I thought it was something horrible.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
I mean,
how do you handle this?
Look, we're in the people business. We're in the relationship business. If y'all think this is insurance, this is not just insurance. We're developed in relationships. Every person that joins our team, whether it's my team, Kelly and Jeff's team, or Paul's team directly, like, we care for that person and we want to see them grow and develop. And I always say this, the Alliance has made me a better person, has made me a better friend, father, business partner. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. And that's what we want for every single person joining this team. So when I have someone join the team, got to be patient with them, got to relax. I can't go force them to go out there and write 20,000 the first month. All right. But what happens is when we grow these relationships, we're all human. I'm thinking about an example, and Paul, you know who I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about an example of a young man who joined my team, and we spent countless hours, late night. I remember running in the field up in a certain area, and I was running all day, running appointments. I was tired, right? And then I get back to the hotel because I was running out of distance, and then I take a phone call for 2 hours to help this young man work through his mental battles, right? And then other late night phone calls about helping him overcome and help him and get to the next level, because we want the best for him. And then for whatever reason, he leaves and goes to some other place, right? He's still doing the same thing at the other place. Magically, he's not having more success than he was here because he's still the same person. But it hurts. But what makes it great is all the other that was not the only person on my team. If that was the only person on my team, I'd be devastated and be pondering and thinking about it, like, what can I have done better? But I had G-Shot, A-Team, Cruz, all the Blazes, Dina, Uncle T, this new guy, Derek, right? Tabitha. I said, oh, shoot. All right, let me go work with these people. All right. But still, I care about this other guy, and he's welcome back. But that's, when you're building relationships, we go through this, but just keep building those relationships, because more often than not, it'll happen and it'll work out for the good.
Jeff, you want to add? I mean, you and Kelly just went through one recently. Anything you want to add to that?
Really, Paul, what I wanted to say and kind of echo for both Kelly and Phil is that whenever you're going through something, you're getting ready to do something massive. That's what I've always seen. So when you build a team and you have somebody who quits on you, look at yourself and say, I should have built the relationship before. Don't try to recover it after. But I think a lot of people get really down on themselves. But if you expect that, yes, people will hurt you. Yes, people are broken. And yes, sometimes I want more for them than they want for themselves. But if I build the relationship, even if at the moment it's not the right time, there will be a time where they say, you know what? They treated me right. I loved this team. I want to give this another shot. And that's where you really keep these folks coming back, keeping them engaged. But kind of like Phil said, right? You're going to go through things. You're going to help that agent. Yes, they may leave, but now you have other folks on your team that you can plug into. So don't take that as a defeat. Don't sit down and quit just because they quit. Find who else you can help. Find who else you can motivate, and find who else you can plug into and make a difference in their life. That's why we're here.
And it does when you have that other person to call. You know, there's been times where someone hurt me, and Jeff, you didn't know, but I picked up the phone and talked to you just to remind myself I got Jeff. I know sometimes when I'm having a bad day around the office, and Trina Noel might notice, she goes, "Hey, you got a pretty car."
And Paul, you went through, and I won't tell the story, but you went through a lot just becoming part. And I don't think people realize, right? And like I said, I'm not going to tell the story, but you were doing something massive and you had people hurt you, but you didn't stop. And that's what makes you a leader. That's why you're where you're at, right? And if we had the same mindset as you do of let's keep plugging in, let's keep pushing forward, let's keep getting new people and helping them grow, we'll hit partner 2.
Yeah. Hey, we're people, man. When people gonna let you down, you gotta go forward. Hey, here's a new shocker. Y'all probably don't know this. We've all each let each other down. And but we have enough grace in all of our hearts to say, we're in this together. And you're a human, I'm a human. We're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna screw up, and we're gonna do it again. But at the end of the day, we're gonna say, you know what, we're in this thing together. And there's so much to be said about that I could almost do a whole different call on. That is your growth. Because you grow through those things and you learn what not to do next time, right? I try to coach people on this. Hey, some people will get in an argument with someone and quit, and they missed the gift that God was trying to give them of, hey, I was trying to teach you something, but you let your ego get in the way. You got hurt and you went over here. Guess what? I got to teach it to you over here. You're going to go through it. And so just know that when you go through trials and you go through setbacks, you know, it's just all about growth and how you respond. And because then it makes you stronger to respond again. The growth and the setbacks that I've had have allowed me to become a better leader to Jeff. Okay. They hurt at the time, but they allowed me, it was my opportunity to become stronger. And know that when you go through one of those situations, I love what Jeff said. Don't try to go fix it. You didn't build a relationship correctly the first time. You made the mistake. I love that self, word I'm looking for. Like you owned it. You owned it, as opposed to, well, they did this. And there's plenty for Jeff to blame too. Plenty for Jeff to blame. But he owned it. He said, no, it's on me. I got to change the way I built that relationship. See, that man's learning, and there's no doubt that him and Kelly are going to become partners. That type of thought process, that mentality. They're going to become partners. Mark my words. Phil's going to be, mark my words. I didn't have folks on here that weren't become partners, and I could have more. In fact, all three of us got a team of people, you know, from Karen out in Laredo. You know, I'm starting to name names. I'm going to screw this whole thing, from Mike and Carrie Williams out in Ohio. You know, we got a whole team of people that we're fired up about. John Thorman out in Ocala, Florida, that we're fired up about. We're expecting great things from them, right? But I don't think we could lead a team of people like G and like Eric had we not gone through the trials and tribulations we went through. So it's all part of your process.
Hey, Paul, something you always taught us was hurt.
Amen.
And we had to learn that their anger, whatever they were angry about, that they were projecting onto us, wasn't because of us.
Amen.
That was huge for me to learn that, because I was always like, I didn't do anything. And you taught me, hey, hurt people. And I think if we keep that in our head, and I think that came from Mr. Goad, so I'll give credit for that too, is you just have to remember that and just keep saying that, you know, but also what Jeff said, how can I rebuild the relationship better next time?
Yeah, that's everything right there. So many people, Jeff, I watch, they will dwell on the relationship that's already ruined. They get this bitterness and ugliness inside of them, and they miss the lesson. I got some great friends in this business that have lost people, and they've not looked at it as a lesson yet. And what they don't realize is how strong they are now. They are more powerful than they ever could have imagined what they went through. They've slid on the brakes, fell into a little bit of resentment, a little bit of anger, self-doubt, everything, as opposed to, hey, man, you got to build it better next time. And listen, I said it. He can blame. I know what he's talking about. There's a lot of blame to go the other way. Tons. But the man's chosen to say, you know what? That ain't going to get me to my next level. God don't want me to blame. God's got that under control. God is in control of that. I need to move on. I need to realize what I did wrong. So powerful. I thank you guys. I hope this meant something to somebody. We have family reunion coming up. Thank you, Kelly, for reminding me of that. Family reunion, again, people could take this completely wrong. I'm not going to see Brian Tracy. I'm not going to see Vanilla Ice. They're there. That's great. That's going to draw people in that wouldn't have showed up. That's awesome. But I'm going there for I'm going there for the people that I'm going to pour my heart and soul and do everything I can to get them to go. I want their lives to be radically changed. We're going there for our teams. We're going there for the friendships. If your goal is, hey, I'm going to get a bunch of people there so I can get rich. Okay, cool. But if you go with the mindset of, hey, I want some more friends to see what I'm about to see. I want some more friendships I'm going to carry on into the future to see what I'm going to see. The friendships that we get to build, there's nothing like it. I mean, think about it. My best friends in the world, I didn't know them without listing names. You know, Jeremy Patton, we technically say he's my first person that I hired and we knew each other, but he actually is a list of names really from another company because he was direct to somebody else over there, but we liked each other. So I eventually got him over here to me. It wasn't a hired thing. His boss was drinking too much and he got fired. I forgot about that. That's funny. But then I became his boss. So he's technically, I'm sorry. I've lost everybody now. He's technically listed names from there. There's no kidding. That dude got fired for drinking too much. I'm not lying. That just hit me. I gotta, Jeremy, that's too funny. We have, I don't think Jeremy and I have ever put that together. But, so, I mean, all the relationships and friendships I have, I mean, we've spent time in Switzerland together. We spent time in Italy together. And really what matters is we spent time together. And we don't just spend time together on trips. And we don't just spend time together on conventions. We travel. We go see our people. Jeff's in McAllen every week seeing his team down there. That's a 5-hour drive one way. I mean, you can do it in 4 hours, but you better be booked. You know what I'm saying? But we travel to go see our, we're with our, those are the friendships. So I want to take those friendships to family reunion, show them the bigger family, and to remind them life stuff changed. The ripple effect they're going to do. You know, again, I'm excited. You know, don't take this wrong. Someone's going to get back to Andy and say Paul's upset, crying, Tracy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm going because Andy Albright. I'm going because Stephen Davies is going. I'm not going because you know what I'm saying. Those are great selling features, and Andy's a great marketer to put that out there to get people to sign up. That's beautiful. Thank God. But at the same time, I'm going for those people that are going to put in the money to show up and to remind them how great life's going to be and remind them they're going to realize their dreams. Because my deepest desire is to get everybody around me just to realize there's something more in each one of them. There's just something more deep down inside of you that you don't know exists. You got to reach for it. And you got to reach for it when it hurts. You got to reach for it when it hurts. So we're going to be there. We're excited. We're going to bring a boatload of people with us. We're going to have a party, and we're going to hit it hard again. Thank you, Jennifer, for putting that together. Thank you for Aruba. I know that's been a nightmare trying to get us to go somewhere with everything going on in the world. Thank you. We are all going to hug you when we get to Aruba that we did not have a 28-hour flight to Thailand. And then, as Andy said, to go there to be incarcerated for 7 days.
We would hate Thailand if that was it.
So thank you for shifting. We're fired up about Aruba. We're fired up about Alaska next year. We're fired up about the next trips coming up. There's so many. I got to hear. So I ain't telling nobody. I'm never going to break anybody's trust. But I got to hear some up and coming stuff like, holy cow. And thank you again for everybody at home office for making this thing go round for us. Thank you, Andy, for the staff that you got there that makes our lives easier to breathe. Say, you know what? We're out here in survival mode. We've got a team backing us up 24/7. And I hope and pray everybody that's hearing my voice is out there in the field. You look to this team in Burlington, North Carolina as your support. You love them, respect them, you treat them with respect. Don't talk ugly to them. Some of y'all talk ugly to adventures. Think it's funny. They tell me who talks ugly. Don't do it. It ain't cool. They're your team. We're all together in this thing. We can't make it without them, and they make our life so much easier. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And lastly, thank you, Andy Albright, for trusting us. Crazy fools. We got one college grad on the line, so keep us in. we got Jeff and we got Kelly, and we're not college grads, but thank you so much for trusting us to do this call. I hope we've touched some hearts. I hope we got you understanding that you're building a friendship that's going to last. You ready for this? For eternity. For eternity. You're building friendships that are going to last for eternity. And at the same time, you get to make money. At the same time, you get to travel the world. At the same time, you get to take care of your family. You get to say things like, hey, I'm going to take my daughters and go somewhere. Hang out with them. Be dad for a while. Whew. That's big, guys. We want some freedom. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Phil.
Thanks, Paul. Love you, man.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
Or as my man, Dr. Phil would say, thank you, Jelly and Kef.
No.
Kef and Jelly.
Kef and Jelly.
Kef and Jelly, the new PB&J.
Kef and Jelly, the new PB&J, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. Love you guys. Hope y'all got something. Hey, I get to say it. Go get yours because I got mine.
Woo!
Take care.